Looking back now, what do you think was the main challenge you faced to grow the business, to start it, or to keep it alive in hard times?
It's really interesting because 15 years ago, the pet industry was a very male dominated industry. So my challenges have changed over time, right? As I've grown with the business.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think,
You can mention two or three challenges
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
it's more than
So I
one.
think the first one was it was an extremely male dominated business. It's changing now. And I was fairly young when I opened the business. I was in my 20s. So trying to be taken seriously by a very male dominated industry as a younger woman, back then with more of an accent that I have now,
Yeah,
it
and
was
an
very
immigrant, I was
challenging.
gonna say, yeah.
And an immigrant, yeah. I remember once there was a client of mine that one of my first clients was very, very not nice because I didn't have a specific product, but I said, the truck is just here. If you give me 10 minutes, I'll unload the truck and I'll give you your product or the product that you're looking for. And they got so agitated and they said, you effing immigrant, go back to your country. Because when I get nervous, my accent gets really thick and then I start stumbling. And I'm
And the
just like,
pitch gets higher.
yeah, exactly. And they were like, I want to talk to your manager. And I'm like, actually, I'm the owner. And I'm gonna ask you to leave the store. So being taken seriously as a younger woman with an accent was challenge number one. Challenge number two, trying to balance motherhood and entrepreneurship. Really hard. Really, really hard. So my husband is a teacher. He's always been a teacher. So he was my business partner, but it's on a part-time basis, right? So whenever he's off teaching, then he's doing, the accounting and whatnot. So I was a full-time entrepreneur, but I was also a full-time mom. So trying to be doing everything with a kid hanging up, in like a baby Bjorn and having putting them to sleep in dog beds in the office. Um, Trying to manage kids that are sick and they can't go to school because they're sick, but I can't miss going to work, going to my business. So I would bring my sick kids to work. So there's a lot of mom guilt, especially as my kids were younger. So that was extremely challenging. And then as I started getting more mature in my business journey, as I mentioned, my husband was always the one doing the accounting and doing all of the numbers. And there was a point where I realized that if I want to be a good entrepreneur, like a whole, rounded or a well-rounded entrepreneur, I needed to learn that as well. So I opened a third business. I opened a third business and I told my husband, I only need your help for 3 months. And in those 3 months, I want to learn what you're doing at the store so that I'm able to do it all in this third business. And he did. And it was really challenging learning the cash flow, learning like how to manage your money, how to do accounts payables, accounts receivables, HST remittance, corporate taxes, all of that. It's another skill that I didn't have for the longest time. And that was a big challenge. And, but I ended up learning by making a lot of mistakes, but learned. And now I think it's how do I, focus my attention, right? How do I not go crazy and open another business or another thing? How do I just buckle down and say, nope, this is how do I grow what I already have? How do I maximize it? How do I scale it so that it becomes a more mature business?